So I would just prefer it if you wore the wolf suit.
Put it on?
I mean, not now,
Should
but
I put it on?
when we talked about.
Oh, okay.
You know, I've been feeling a lot of changes.
After dessert, before we go to the McDonald's Place ball pit until they kick us out?
Yeah,
Before
at some
then?
point in there
Okay.
would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
But
Thank you for listening to me.
I mean, like, if I'm going to put on the wolf suit, then can you do me a favor? And can you do that thing with your eyeball like I like?
As long as we have some
wolf suit.
If we have some Visine around, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we have tons of Visine.
Perfect.
I stockpile bought Visine when everybody else was buying toilet paper.
I was out panic buying Visine. My eyes get really fucking dry, okay? I don't know
and see.
Yeah. So go watch Beastars on Netflix, everybody. It's really good.
Is that what you were referencing?
No, it's because
did you rope me into your weeb shit again?
No, Beastars is famously being like, it's kind of like it's very furry like.
Okay.
Because all the characters feature anthropomorphic animals.
Okay.
But they're like, okay, you know how Sonic is anthropomorphic?
Yes.
But he is like a cartoon character.
Yes.
The characters in Beastars are anthropomorphic, but they're also very human-like. Okay. They have like human hands and like human feet.
Oh, so like BoJack Horseman.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. I don't want to spoil much more or even talk about it too much, but Beastars is fantastic.
Okay.
And go watch it.
Also, like, good improv there.
Yeah, that worked out, right? Give me a high five. Right on my butt.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty. I'm all right. I'm all
Welcome
right.
to a social distancing episode of.
Yeah, we are recording this together. We decided to get together and do a recording, but we are both on self-isolation. I know the Ontario Health Minister wouldn't be very happy with us right now, but got a fuck show to do.
Yeah.
Got a fuck show to do.
Gotta do it.
It's a scary time, man.
It is a scary time, but you know, it's a time of self-exploration as well. You know, because we can't hang out with people.
Do you have any
So
I know that for me, what I did for my self-ISO time, I've created a list of games that I'm actually gonna fucking play because I now have all the time in the fucking world.
I brought all my Nancy Drew games that I can get to work and my old PC laptop over to the apartment so that I can play a bunch of them while I'm isolating.
Yeah,
distancing.
Which one?
There's a difference between self-isolation and social distancing. Social distancing is what you do if you're healthy, but you're just trying your best not to spread the virus.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize
self-isolation is what you put yourself on when you're like under suspicion of like
okay.
having like
I thought they were the
have
same
symptoms
terms.
and you're isolated. No, they're different. And
Okay.
then like quarantine is like quarantine.
Well,
like,
quarantine is you have the virus.
You have to stay
relax
at home or
yeah,
in the
calm
hospital
down.
or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's I certainly don't think that. I mean, okay, if I could be optimistic, I think this is a hurdle that we will get over, and I just think it's a big one, and I think that we all. And I promise no more Corona talk after this, but like, I just keep telling myself that the reason why our government is doing what they're doing is in an effort to help. And we don't know if it's effective yet, which is the scary part.
Yeah.
But in a couple of weeks, we'll know for sure.
Yeah.
And then we can go from there. If anything, in Canada anyway, the people aren't taking it as seriously as the government's taking it.
Yes.
Which is
a problem.
Annoying, if I can be honest.
It's kind of annoying to see the roles reversed because we talk so much shit all the time about how like, oh, well, the government's not doing enough. The government's
this,
not
that,
doing
and the
enough.
other
And the
thing.
government does enough when we're like, well, I want to go out for coffee.
I miss my friends and I finally have free time.
Yeah.
It's like, do you not? Well, the reason you have free time.
Wait. We can talk about this later about how we only have free time in the midst of a pandemic, but just stay home, please.
Yes, please, God. Like,
Yeah.
do yourself watch those movies you mean to watch. Watch, read those
that
books
book that you've been
you mean to
meaning
read. Get into weed or something if you live in Canada.
God. Okay, well, I'm not gonna encourage people to do drugs, but
it's illegal substances.
I know, but like I'm not gonna encourage people to drink more either or start smoking cigarettes. So like,
I mean, if you smoke them, if you got them.
if you already have them, then sure. But if you need something to get into in this time, maybe don't pick up substances.
I have 2 weeks of free time. I better ruin my life.
Better develop an addiction right quick.
Yeah. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been getting into Frasier big time.
Nice. Yeah, you've been deep into Frasier.
Yeah, I'm on season 7 out of 11. I'm so excited. And it's turning out to be one of those shows that like like I'm gonna be sad once it's over because I won't have any episodes to experience for the first time anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you know how people are like Breaking Bad fans are always like, I'm so excited for you to watch Breaking Bad because
Right.
like you get to see it for the first time. You know, I'm like that with Frasier. I'm like, wow, how privileged am I to live to see this?
You get to see
come to
Frasier from
fruition
beginning to end.
for the first time.
Yeah.
No interruptions, no commercials.
Mhm.
It's a great period that we're in right now.
I mean, that's the best part about discovering a show that's been
not
complete.
true. We're in the midst of a pandemic, but like,
Right.
I feel very lucky to live in the same time as Frasier.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's nothing better than discovering a show that you like that's completed.
Yeah.
Like, that happens to me a lot with manga, and especially anime, where it's like, most of the time they run for years and don't finish.
Yeah.
So, but like in North American television anyway,
Yeah.
like it really seems like Frasier had a great run for 11 seasons, somehow, for like, they never faltered.
Yeah.
And then it's over, so. You've been watching a lot of sitcoms in that
Been
regard.
consistently funny the whole time. It's a little, I mean, like, it's aged a lot better than some shows that really haven't aged well.
Right.
But there's some stuff here and there. Like it's like a transphobic comment here and there. I've seen like,
well, like there was made during like a gay scare.
I also feel like the character of like Martin Crane, which is like Frasier Crane's dad. He's this like, he's a retired cop and like has a bunch of like old school American values. And like one time like Frasier's car breaks down and he's like, I don't understand why you can't just buy American made cars, because then you can go to any garage and they have the parts for you right there.
Just get yourself a Ford.
And it's like, yeah, but like I'd be going to the garage all the time if I bought a Ford, because they like break down like crazy and like kind of suck a little bit.
Right.
So like, you know, I'd rather have a hard time maybe like once a year going to a garage to try and find a part for my Toyota than I would like having to go to a garage all the time for like a Ford or like a Chrysler.
Is that true? They just would an American car like mechanic have the parts just on hand for?
I don't know. This was like the 90s, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just feel like that's incorrect.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's how mechanics work.
Well, I mean, he's an old dude, so
Right.
like, you know, it's like that.
What I think is right.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Exactly. But other than that, it's really fun. I think that you would appreciate it a lot because we both enjoyed studying farce in university.
Mm-hmm.
And Frasier is like, it's so crazy because like I remember when we were learning about farce, like the professor kept telling me, she's like, you need to go bigger, you need to go bigger, like think about your objective and like go really big with it. Farce is about like
taking it to
zaniness
10,
and taking it to 11 all the time, and I was like, I just can't get there. And then I watched Frasier and I'm like, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Well,
because like the characters' reactions to stuff are just so like,
ooh.
oh god, there was this great opening scene. It was a Valentine's Day episode, and Frasier's brother, Niles, was getting ready for a date, and it was going like hilariously wrong, right? Like he was like trying to cook dinner and iron his pants at the same time, and he's running around and he like cuts his fingers and his pants are down, and he like looks at the little drop of blood on his like one finger and like faints. And then like he keeps like accidentally like looking at his finger and like fainting wherever he stands.
That's
and,
amazing.
like really in this like really dramatic way. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I've seen a handful of episodes of Frasier. When I was young, I used to watch Frasier with my parents and pretend that I understood what was going on.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make them proud of me.
Yeah. You kind of, yeah. There's some references. I mean, like they're not super like hard to understand references, but if you're a kid, like I can see where you would get lost and like not find anything funny.
Well, Frasier has that reputation of being like the smartest sitcom ever made.
Yeah.
But like,
which I don't think is true.
Well, I mean, because like, you gotta wonder what they mean by that, right? Like, are the characters super smart and hard to understand, or is the writing super smart? Like, what exactly does smart mean?
I mean, like Frasier and Niles, I think, are both Harvard or at least Ivy League educated psychiatrists / psychologists who love things like opera and like very, very, very fine dining, expensive restaurants, and they're both part of like a wine club. They're like amateur sommeliers and like all that
down at the
like,
country
foodie
club
stuff. But then they get into these like zany, ridiculous, bullshit things that make them look like idiots all the time. So that's
clever though. I mean,
exactly.
That's how you would make a character like that. Because like, I don't know, if a main character of a show that I was watching was a member of a country club, I wouldn't exactly relate to him.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing too is that like like Frasier. So Frasier is a spinoff of the show Cheers, which was like about a bar in Boston and all of its regulars. so like the fact that the Froofy one got a spin-off is like so weird to me, but
Yeah.
I can't believe it worked so well. But
it's arguably just as popular, if not more popular, than the source material.
yeah, exactly.
A lot of people don't know that Frasier is a spinoff. Like,
Right. So so the thing about Frasier is that like he leaves Boston to go back to his hometown of Seattle, because he gets a job as a radio show host, and this was
Right.
back when like radio shows were like they were like podcasts.
well, yeah, it was
Like,
before podcasts. So.
yeah, and like you could be famous. So he's like famous in Seattle. He's locally famous because of his radio show. And it's like it's this really popular show, and like everybody knows who he is, and he's so famous, and he has all these like all these awards and stuff like that. But when you actually when you the audience watch him in the booth, when there's a scene with him doing his radio show, he's like tragically bad at it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like so bad at it. Like he gives terrible advice. Often something happens in the studio that undermines him. There's this like character named Bulldog who does like the sports show after him,
Right.
and he always comes in and like honks his horn at Frasier and like makes him sound like an idiot.
It's
Or like
Frasier, Crane, and Bulldog.
or like his producer Roz will come in and be like, "I'm sorry, this is not like I'm interjecting." Like the one lady called in about her like boyfriend was being super clingy,
Right.
and Frasier was like, "Well, you should try and like sit him down and talk to him about it." And Roz was like, "I'm sorry, no, you do not need a conversation. He's low-key stalking you. Dump him and get out of there."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Thank
Dump
you,
his ass, sweetie.
thank you, Roz."
But you
You're
can't
the voice
expect
of
Frasier to,
reason.
because like Frasier's the kind of guy, like he's so prim and proper. So like
You think like a Harvard-educated psychologist would be capable of giving advice and not get undermined, but his producer. But the fact that his producer comes in every once in a while and is like, "Wait a second,"
well, I get
who has no psychological experience at all.
I get the implication that Frasier is someone who might be very academic,
Yeah.
but maybe not someone who's quite social.
Exactly. Well, like that's the joke, right?
Yeah.
Is that anyways, you should all watch Frasier.
Yeah, go watch
Especially-
Frasier.
Like it's on Crave. For those of you who have Crave, all 11 seasons are on Crave right now, in full, and they're great.
Mm-hmm.
They're so funny, and it's long.
Yeah.
Like I said, it has 11 seasons. It won like 14 Emmys during its run.
Had a very successful run.
Like if you haven't seen it already, because I know I'm a little late to the Frasier train, but
It's timeless. You don't gotta be late to Frasier.
Yeah, it's timeless. You should
Well,
watch it.
What I like about those like single camera setup sitcoms, and I almost wish, like, I'm sure they're still being made, like they are shows like One Day at a Time and other shows are all like that, but they really are just like recording theater.
Yes, it feels like theater.
It's very theatrical in
Yeah.
its presentation and
And
its tone.
I feel like a lot of our professors would scorn us for saying that anything that's recorded is at all like theater. But
You can take the pickle out of your
the
butt.
other thing about these like single camera setup shows is that they cast theater actors.
Yeah,
Like a lot of
typically.
the actors from those shows got their start in theater.
Mm-hmm.
So they bring elements of theatrical acting to the show.
That's why so many of those early sitcoms are very like boisterous and moving,
Yeah.
and like they're so
Yeah.
expressive, and
Yeah, because it's theater.
it's just theater.
It's just theater.
You know what's funny? So I'm gonna ask you something. I was a part of a show which unfortunately got canceled due to the virus.
Yeah. We all were a part of shows that got canceled because of the
Yeah,
virus.
lots of
Yeah.
shout out to artists.
Yeah, shout out to artists right now. It's
Oh
I'm sorry.
God.
I'm real sorry. I'm real sorry about this yawn too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a show at the old university we used to go to. So it was very nostalgic and fun, and it was a great time from start to finish. But as an actor, I want to ask you about something. When we were in school, I don't know about you, but there was a big build up to like Tech Week.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone and their mother was like, Tech Week is hard. You gotta like pay attention. You gotta like, dude, Tech Week sucks for an actor. Blah, blah, blah. Tech Week's the worst. It's like, I really don't think Tech Week's all that bad, in my opinion. It's not very exciting, but as an actor, at this point, you should be off book and rehearsed. So just do what you know. Like, I don't know. I personally never found the hubbub for Tech Week to be earned.
I think you're right. I think it is a little bit harder when you're in school because you have other shit going on, but Tech Week tends to take over your life.
It does, yeah.
So, just because you're at the theater like all evening, and it just like, there's a lot more people there. It's like the first time when it really feels real.
Like a show, yeah.
Yeah, where it really feels like, oh shit, like I'm a part of a show, and like in a couple of days there are going to be butts in seats like watching me do this. Like it just gets very real, and I think that causes people to sort of like like fret a little bit.
I understand.
But you're right, like the actual doing of Tech Week is not hard.
Well, what I never fully got is that, like, from my perspective, the reason why I think Tech Week is just another, part of the schedule is that, like, as an actor, I get to do what I love, which is acting in rehearsal from the beginning. From day one to last day, I get to act, and that's great. But, like, technicians and stuff get to hang and test, but don't really get to make all this shit work until Tech Week. And that's what they love to do.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, I want to be as cooperative as possible and not be a huge fucking baby. And I'm not saying that anyone was. In this particular production that I was in that unfortunately got canceled, everyone was great.
Yeah.
Like, it was great from start to finish.
Smooth Tech Week.
But I've been in shows where actors, like, roll their eyes when they have to do a scene over again, or, like, scoff when they're asked to repeat their line.
But it's like, what do you think we did all throughout the rehearsal period when you didn't know your lines?
Yeah.
We repeated stuff over and over again.
I just never got that. I think, well, I mean, you know what it is? It just ties into me I have this a burning hatred of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, baby actors.
Yeah.
Just, like, actors who are babies.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, listen,
you're
giving all of us a bad fucking name.
Actors who are babies.
Yeah.
The baby actors.
They're giving all of us a bad fucking name.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's why there are jokes about actors, like, sucking amongst, like, stage managers and techs and stuff like that because of these actors who make a huge hullabaloo over nothing. Man,
I'll be perfectly honest with you. If theater and film and TV could make those things without actors, I think they would.
Yeah.
Like, truth be told.
But it's like not every actor is like that. You know, like I would like to think that I was fairly self-sufficient. I didn't feel like I asked a lot of, like, stage managers when and like, if they couldn't necessarily do it for me, then I just kind of, like, figured out how to do it myself.
Well, yeah.
I'm not, like, immediately helpless the second I get into costume,
Because
like,
you're not a fucking child.
Yeah.
You're a self-sufficient person.
Like, I remember one time I asked an assistant stage manager if she could, like, get me. There's this warm up that I like to do with a ball where I, like, roll a ball under my foot to help me feel more, like, centered.
Yeah. We used to do it before we warmed up.
Yeah, and I asked, like, an assistant stage manager during a show one time at school if I could, like, be given a ball when it's time for warm up time. She's like, yeah, I'll hold on to it for you and, like, I'll give it to you before every warm up. Well, she had her own task list of things to do to set up before a show. So she kind of just, like, forgot. Well,
it happens.
So I was like, hey, like, where's that ball that you keep for me for warm-up? She's like, oh, it's over there, like, backstage. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go get it.
Yeah.
Can you just, like, keep it there for me? Can we make that the spot that it is so that I can always at least, like, find it right away before I go do my warm-ups? She was like, yeah, sure, I'll just keep it there for you. I was like, great. We'll just do that then. You don't have to, like, come knock on the door and be like, Miss Mercury, here's your warm-up ball. Like,
oh, Miss Mercury.
Yeah.
Are you ready for your balls?
Are you prepared for these balls, Miss Mercury?
Are you ready to take my balls?
Take your balls up to the foyer.
We're gonna have to reframe that question. But yes, I am ready for your balls. Man.
But there are some actors who would be like, the ASM said she would bring me my balls for my warm up, and now I can't find it. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, and it's just like, well, hold on now. Yeah. you can go get it yourself.
Just go get it.
Just go get it.
You got hands and feet.
Yeah. But I was just like, okay, so this is the spot for it now. And she's like, okay, this is the spot for it. I was like, great, thank you.
And this is where I'll find it all the time.
I'll go get it then. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do it anymore.
Well,
go do the rest of your massive checklist that you have to do as an ASM.
Be kind to your ASMs, be kind to your SMs, be kind to your ADs, be kind to everyone who is helping.
Yeah.
On whatever set, theater, whatever the fuck you are. Just be kind. And thank them. There's a shocking amount of people who don't thank these people when they give you something. And I never got that.
I was part of a show once where the director almost didn't he got so mad at the crew that he almost didn't build in the, like, you know, the hand gesture. You know how, like, when you bow during the curtain call, it's common courtesy to gesture up to the booth where the stage managers and technicians are, so that they can get applause.
Just as much work as you are. So
he got so mad at the crew that he almost, like, didn't build that into the curtain call. I had to, like, call it out and be like, why aren't we putting in a gesture of thanks to the crew up in the booth? He was like, oh yeah,
because I hate them.
And then it was told to me later. They were like, oh my God, Sam, that, like, part where you, like, called him out on, like, not doing that, like, so I was like, I didn't think I was calling him out, like, I didn't know, like, what, and then I found out that he had beef with them, and that's why he wasn't gonna do it. What a baby. made it.
I'm sorry, that's some baby shit.
Yeah.
Like, grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, listen, it has become extremely apparent to me in my short time being an artist that you're going to work with people you might not like. And that is fine.
I do at the job that I don't want to have right now.
Yeah.
And we coexist fine.
It's
like,
not hard to be cordial.
It's actually at a point now where, like, I know that the person at my job who hates me. And I don't like them back. But we have to work together. So, like, we talk. Like, you know, I don't have time for grudges.
Yeah, exactly.
We're adults.
You hear that, Allison? Allison is one of Sam's close work friends, by the way.
She's She's one of the people who means the most to me at work. I had to think about that for a second. I was like, did you just say any old white girl name? And I was like, no, I love Allison.
I hope she's listening and finds this funny.
That's great.
We're talking about how like
no, like you just have to work with people you don't like sometimes, and you have to be nice to those people, and you have to get along with those people, and
that's a two-way street. Like, I'll be nice to someone if they don't like me, but I expect them to be a base niceness back to me.
And this person at work who doesn't like me is nice to me.
And there you go.
I know she goes home and is like, so I had to work with the bitch today.
Yeah, God, I hate black people.
But she does that at home.
Right.
She doesn't do that at work, so you know, I don't care.
She's racist at home.
Yeah.
Hey,
listen, man.
She's not racist.
If you want to be racist, then like you can be racist, but don't make my life hell because of it.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
I don't give a shit if you think that I don't deserve rights, but like you can't actually stop me from having rights.
Exactly. But you have them.
But I have them.
So.
Finger guns.
Hey, Donald. I hate you. I hate you too.
Yeah, we had our yearly rewatch of Donald Glover's Weirdo. I watch Weirdo at least once a year.
For sure. It happens at least once a year.
It's probably my favorite stand-up. It is
one of my favorite for sure.
What's your favorite? What are your favorite stand-ups?
Oh God, I don't know. Like I don't like. In terms of it being like, I really like Nanette by Hannah Gadsby.
Okay.
I don't think it's very funny, but I don't think it's supposed to be very funny.
It gets not funny as it goes on.
It's a bit more of a performance, like a performance piece, than it is of like a stand-up. Yeah. So I really like it for that.
Yeah.
But in terms of like stand-ups that I like, I'm a big fan of storytellers. So I like Gabriel Iglesias.
Okay.
Not all of his jokes land, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
But
he
I
kind
do
of gets that Dane Cook disease. Like,
where he come out and be like, so I was walking around with my family the other day, and everyone's like, whoa!
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Let him say the joke.
Yeah, like I understand that you all consider him your god, but like I really like him. Yeah. You know, even like I used to watch more stand up when I was in high school. So I'll say like I love old Dave Chappelle. George Carlin's a funny motherfucker. Love John Mulaney.
Ooh, yes.
Pete Davidson's pretty funny.
Yeah, I showed you Pete Davidson's stand-up Alive from New York, and it's good.
I liked it because it was, and this is not a dig. I liked it because it was short. It was only about 45 minutes. But I'm like, God, what a perfect time for a stand-up routine.
Yeah.
We watched someone else who turned out to be far funnier. I really ended up liking Michelle Wolf's stand-up.
Yes.
You put her on for we didn't finish it, but her stand-up was funny.
I finished it, and it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think I have like an all-time favorite special.
Oh, I love Michelle Wolf.
I do have an all-time favorite special.
Okay.
It's Zach Galifianakis live at the Purple Onion.
Oh, really? Well, that was the first stand-up special.
The first Netflix stand-up special.
Yeah.
I'm sure it hasn't aged well because it's like 11 years old. Yeah. I'm sure he makes some horrible jokes. But that stand-up is very nostalgic
more or less
for me.
A pretty good dude.
Yeah.
The other thing is Zach Galifianakis is another one of those artists who doesn't make anything unless they have something. They're not just like
or
chasing.
If it's The Hangover.
Okay, fair. No, you're right. He did make all of the Hangover
3 of them,
movies.
yeah.
But I mean, like, I haven't seen him in anything since, so
That's
I just
true.
assume that he's like, I mean, like, he
He's around. He was in
the Between
Birdman.
Two Ferns movie, which looks funny, actually. I haven't seen it. But,
yeah, that's on
you know,
Netflix,
he
isn't
just,
it?
Like, he makes stuff that he wants.
Totally.
You know?
I love that Santa special. I'm sure, again, like I haven't watched it in a very long time. I remember it being very funny. There's my favorite part because he's playing the piano the whole time. That's like the shtick. He's like playing music to his jokes.
Okay.
There's at one point when he goes, "You ever like to fuck?" and just like
and he stutters.
Holds his hand, like completely stops the music, and it's just like, no, it's so funny.
Just like like puts his head in his hands and just like sighs.
It's a great.
Gets real exasperated with himself.
Yeah, that was one of like my favorite things growing up.
Yeah.
Do you have an all-time favorite?
So like Weirdo is like just like up there,
Like number one.
You know, like I probably. I mean, like John Mulaney is like pouting somewhere because I love John Mulaney.
Everybody fucking loves John Mulaney. John Mulaney is
Yeah.
saying like, "Oh, I drank water today."
I laughed at a John Mulaney joke and I drank some water. I had a day. It was a day. It was a normal day.
I woke up and I had a little sip of water and I put on John Mulaney. Like these things happen.
Yeah. So, but I really love New in Town because that has the Delta Airlines bit, which is my
Oh
favorite.
yeah, that is his best joke.
My favorite
Like,
so
funny.
probably of all time.
You're a little fat girl. Say it. I'm a little fat girl.
Say it. I'm a little fat girl.
It really cracks my fucking shit up. What a great
Then I
joke.
go to the Wolfgang Puck Express and say, "Can I have a sandwich, please?" And they're like, "No."
No! Here's a voucher that's not going to work.
And then you go to the Delta Help Desk, which is an oxymoron. And oh, so good.
What a great bit.
So yeah, New in Town. So Weirdo, New in Town. My Girlfriend's Boyfriend by Mike Birbiglia.
That's probably my number 2.
I mean, Mike Birbiglia. Just period.
All of his
Like,
stand-up specials are great.
I actually grew up on Mike Birbiglia.
Really?
Yeah, like when I
got to know him in university.
So like I've explained my Saturday morning TV watching schedule. I would like wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday like a crazy person. Well, because I'm like 9
Well,
and
yeah,
I have
'cause
the time.
all
and
you
the
want to do is
energy.
be awake. So.
Exactly. And go downstairs and I would watch Family Channel for like most of the day. But around the like noon when they would start playing like Disney Channel original movies, I would switch to the Comedy Channel and I would like watch old. They would air like old Just for Laughs sets.
Totally.
So that's where I saw a lot of like Mitch Hedberg and like really really old Mike Birbiglia, really
another
really
good
old Dave
comedian is Mitch
Chappelle,
Hedberg.
really old Jim Carrey when he did stand up. Like,
Wow.
Like pre and like during In Living Color.
That's
phase.
relic shit.
Yeah, like old and like Drew Carey and stuff like that. Like I would just like watch all these like comedians. So like I actually saw like old Mike Birbiglia and I thought he was hilarious. And then, you know, like we got rid of cable or like I stopped watching TV cable TV so much and I just sort of like lost track of him. But then, you know, like social media popped up again and I started getting back into like comedy, specifically like New York comedy. And and then like people were buzzing about like My Girlfriend's Boyfriend and Sleepwalk with Me, his other special, which I think it might not be on Netflix anymore. It was for a while. But yeah, and I was like, oh, this guy. And everyone was like, everybody's raving about Mike Birbiglia. I was like, sis, I've been there.
Bruh.
I've been there.
Bruh.
Since before I hit double digits. I've
Right.
been there, buddy. So yeah, My Girlfriend's Boyfriend.
Probably is either my number 2 or maybe even my number 1. Like I love my Girlfriend's Boyfriend.
Yeah.
Such a good story.
I'm trying to think of like 5, like a top 5. So like Weirdo, New in Town.
Did you
My
like
Girlfriend's
Tracy Morgan's
Boyfriend.
stand-up special?
I didn't watch Tracy Morgan's stand-up
Yes, we did.
special.
No,
Tracy
not
Morgan?
Tracy Morgan. God damn it.
Not Chris Tucker.
It is Chris Tucker.
We didn't finish. We got 2 minutes into Chris Tucker.
Yeah,
and
and he made like 3 rape jokes, and we were like,
and I was
I'm out of
"Well,
here.
shut this off. I am out.
Audi 5.
Audi 5.
Mr. Tucker. Go make another Rush Hour, for fuck's sake.
I respect just the art of stand-up so much. I really liked Alive from New York, but if I'm talking like my favorite stand-ups of all time, like it's not. It's not there. Maybe not yet. Maybe in time.
Who's that?
Pete Davidson. Alive from New York.
So you just said Live from New York, and
No,
I was
said
like,
Alive from New York.
oh, okay.
Which is what it's called.
Right. I thought you said Live from New York, and I was like, I feel like there's a lot of specials called Live from New York. You gotta be a little more specific, but you said Alive. Okay, that's fine. It's a good special.
Oh, Private School Negro.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
W. Kamau Bell.
I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. But that's a really funny stand-up.
I love that one. Yeah.
What I like about W. Kamau Bell is that he's extremely intelligent. Like he's like a very smart guy.
I read his book and he explains that like he doesn't necessarily consider himself a comedian per se because like
it was more like a TED
his
Talk.
stand-up is not his strong suit. He admits to that. I'm not saying that to be an asshole. He found his sort of niche with like his CNN show United Shades.
Yeah.
But yeah, Private School Negro is so funny.
That's a funny ass special for sure.
Yeah.
Because he's so biting in it, right? Like,
yeah.
I gotta say that I feel like that's a double-edged sword. Whenever you make comedy, stand-up, whatever, and then it features a lot of political commentary, especially for the time. Like, you and I remember what it was like to be in that climate and then listen to him criticize it.
Yeah.
So, like, we'll think that's funny forever.
Yeah.
But, like, anyone younger or, like, born in this year, when they watch it, they're gonna be like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Well, it's like...
Who the fuck is Jeff Sessions? Like...
yeah, well, I mean, like, comedy is just like that, right? Like, my parents I mean, like, this is hard because my parents only give me like good examples of like old comedians, because like my parents loved like George Carlin and Richard Pryor, which are
universal.
ageless.
Yeah. Actually, we watched that Richard Pryor special and it was funny, but it was like old.
I didn't watch a Richard Pryor special.
You fell asleep.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I started one and I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I was bored, because I was tired.
Mm-hmm. That's what we mostly end all of our nights when we hang out.
Yeah.
Put on something and I'll look over. And you're KO'd.
Yeah.
And then I just do whatever I want for an hour or so.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, hey, it's bedtime.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like, so I don't know, like Rodney Dangerfield, I'm not going to find funny. But people swear up and down that Rodney Dangerfield is like so hilarious. And they go back and watch it all the time. And I'm like, I don't see it.
Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. But a good example of that is... Actually,
I'm like that with Jerry Seinfeld a little bit.
Well,
You know what? I saw Bill Cosby live like eons and eons and eons before all of this. I was in like elementary school, and my parents got Bill Cosby tickets.
Yeah, back when he, before he was, but not before he was before he was a known rapist. Yes.
Yeah, before we knew everything. I saw Bill Cosby, and I didn't think it was that funny.
Well, because comedy.
I mean, it was good.
We talked about this last podcast.
It was a good talk, but I
comedy
didn't
is
die
aged.
laughing.
There is, like, I think decades are generations of comedy.
Yeah.
Like, you ever watch like an old Steve Martin bit?
Yeah.
Steve Martin is funny. Like, I give the guy credit. He's one of the most legendary comedians of all time.
Yeah.
I did not laugh once.
I can like see the math being done, and I'm like, I appreciate this artistry, but I'm not like guffawing.
Actually, you know what though? To his credit though, he did a tour of shows with his Martin Short, and Buddy Brad went to go see them, and he said they were hysterical.
Okay.
Like,
but Buddy Brad has an appreciation for that sort of thing, though. Buddy Brad is a bit of an old soul, and I can see where maybe he would find stuff like that. He can also excuse way more political incorrectness than I can. Like, he has a lot more of a tolerance for it.
For sure.
So,
well, one of the things, I don't remember Steve Martin's comedy being politically incorrect.
No, he was never really like that.
But like literally, like structure wise, it's like a lot of like guitar stuff.
Yeah.
And like jokes that just fire out, like, and I'm like, oh my God, like slow down. Right. I like to chew in my jokes a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
But that being said, like, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know, 20 years from now,
if my kids aren't gonna like Weirdo.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
If we show our kids Weirdo, they're gonna be like,
that was nice.
Donald Glover? Like, what the fuck? Childish Gambino? Like, the guy who's made music once?
Yeah.
Before disappearing into the desert?
Yeah.
Yeah. And releasing a fucking website for your fucking... whatever.
Yeah. No, go off. I want you to go off about this.
So
because
stupid.
I'm just tired.
Like, Donald Glover... Okay, for those who don't know, Donald Glover, a.k.a. Childish Gambino, if you somehow don't know who Childish Gambino is, he released a set of music. I don't know if you can call it an album, but he released a set of music that is being live streamed from his website...
DonaldGloverPresents.com.
For some reason. Like, I guess he just didn't want to go on Spotify or Apple Music or Google Play or fucking Tidal or whatever, right? He just, like, released this. And I am so fucking tired of that. Like, what if I wanted to listen to your music, I don't know, in the car or not on my desktop?
Yeah.
Or just, like, when I'm doing something. Like, what, I gotta log onto your website and I gotta press play?
I'm sure there's some message in there about how you have to hunker down and listen to this album. He's not giving you a choice to take it in the car or while you walk or while you cook or while you do something else. You want to sit down and listen to it. I'm sure there's a message in there about that somewhere.
Yeah, but you know what, Sam? I haven't listened to the fucking album yet.
I don't know, just like leave me alone.
Or how about
let me live my life? Like,
or just release your fucking music.
I don't want people to listen to this while you do something else. It's like, okay, well, I have like a million things going on all at once, and I use music to like make it easier to do them.
What else doesn't help that? Like, and okay, let me make myself perfectly clear. I sound like I hate the guy. I fucking love Donald Glover. I've been a fan of Donald Glover since I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
I used to watch his Dare comedy sketches with Buddy Brad in the back of class when we were supposed to be paying attention. We'd watch his sketches.
Yeah.
And on his PSP because cell phones weren't a thing. And they were amazing. And like obviously some of them haven't aged super well because it's like 2006 humor.
Yeah.
Which was like, what was that?
Yeah.
You know, like no one even talks about. Early YouTube is fucked.
Yeah.
And then he evolved into writing for 30 Rock and then Community and then Childish Gambino and now he's fucking Donald Glover. Like everybody likes Donald Glover.
And Lion King and
well, I mean Atlanta and Atlanta. Because fuck the Lion King.
Okay.
He wasn't even good in it.
No
one was. To their credit, none of the voice acting was good. In my opinion.
That's your opinion.
No, that's fine. I don't expect you to agree. It's just very personal.
Yeah.
But I love Donald Glover, and I just think that him being a fucking weirdo I'm so over it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so over it. Him being a weirdo. you know.
Like his comedy special.
Yeah, there
Like
you go. High five. Right. There it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so sick of it. I don't get, and for all the people who do get what this is and appreciate it for what it is, like, kudos to you, because I really don't fucking get
Well,
it.
they're the same people who can tolerate like Frank Ocean doing what he does with Blonde. Like,
Yeah,
they loved it. You know.
Yeah.
They loved it being postponed 5 times in a row.
And Donald Glover is an insanely successful artist, and I'll never meet him, and he is, like, you know, way better at what he does than
And,
I
like,
do.
for what it's worth, like every single time he goes somewhere, like when he did his like Saturday Night Live thing, or whenever like somebody else works with him, you know, like the Lion King cast, they'll like ask him like, "How what was it like working with Donald Glover?" And they're like, "He's so cool.
Yeah.
He's so cool."
I was listening to Toit, the Brooklyn Nine-Nine podcast that they do, that the cast does, and the producers. One of the writers, it's kind of a long shot. Do you remember the episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine when Gina becomes a YouTuber, and she's like a huge-ass YouTuber?
Yeah.
And she looks at that girl in the crowd, and she screams?
Yeah.
That's one of the writers of the show.
Okay.
And she was on the podcast.
Okay.
And she knew Donald Glover from his, like, Second City days.
Okay.
And apparently...
UCB, I think.
Yes, UCB. Sorry, not Second City. I don't know why I said Second City, but UCB.
Another comedy school.
And apparently, like, she vouches to this day that he is, like, the coolest person.
Yeah.
Like, just apparently he is such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And I believe that. But release your fucking music. It has been, like... When did Awaken My Love come out? 2015? 2014?
This is dark, but like I remember talking about it during your grandma's visitation with your brother.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
good old grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah, we listened to Redbone at grandma's funeral. That's what she was buried to.
Yeah.
No, better yet. She was buried in California. As she was being lowered, it was like, she wanted to go to California. She must have fucking lost her mind. I do actually like that song.
Yeah.
There was a journey with that album.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all when it came out. But now I think it's good.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I
I think you had to get used to it not being a Childish Gambino rap album.
Which is really disappointing because Rap Gambino is like GOAT in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like
one of
for real, like one of the greatest for sure.
Yeah.
We're getting off topic, but
you're mad at Childish Gambino for not releasing music like a normal
killing me, man.
Yeah.
Because it's like I know for a fact that this will eventually be on streaming services. Yeah. Because he's not an idiot.
Yeah, it'll have a name and like
he needs to put on so he can make money off of it. Like he knows this. We all know this. I just hate it how it's like, click this link.
Yeah.
Donald Glover's already making websites. It's not 2008 anymore, bro. I'm not trying to make a fucking website. Would you use Squarespace to make this website? What are you doing with my phone?
Did you use your 15% off coupon from the Armchair Expert to make this website? Have you been keeping track of the time?
Yeah, of course. Let me see.
Okay. I don't want to go over.
No,
I don't want this to turn into a 2-hour rant about Childish Gambino.
We have plenty of time.
Okay.
I've been keeping track on it.
Cool.
But yeah, man, my favorite Gambino project is Royalty.
I know it is.
Yeah.
I know it is.
I don't know if I've ever told the audience before. Do you have a particular favorite?
You know what? I love Camp.
Camp is a great album.
Every time I'll be like, oh, I just want to listen to like, let's just have a fun little throwback minute and go listen to Bonfire. And then I'm just like, no.
That song's really fucked up.
We're going to listen to this whole album.
Yeah.
We're going to listen to the whole thing.
It's a very somber album. It's funny that like you listen to it to like cheer up.
What are you talking about? Firefly is like so lit. And like,
oh, look, it's like very cheery in terms of production and beats, but like his stories are very sad.
Is it sad the whole way through, or are you just thinking about that power? Was that power like so impactful on you that it just makes you think that that's the tone of the whole album?
I feel like there's a general melancholiness when it comes to Donald Glover. Like,
yeah, especially early Donald Glover, because I feel like I don't know the whole story because he's famously very private, but I feel like, and he talks about this a little bit in Weirdo, but he like went through a bad breakup and was like very emotional about girls for a very long time. I even feel like still, because like Me and Your Mama is like a very emotional story about like Tim telling his child like how he and his mom fell in love.
Yeah.
So like Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, just like feels a lot of things about girls.
For sure.
But yeah.
Him and Drake are responsible for Mans.
Don't put Mans on Childish Gambino. Don't do that. That was all Drake.
That's all Drake.
That was 100% Drake. And like maybe a little bit Cardinal Official.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I'm into that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's
man.
a man's pioneer.
So yeah, Donald Glover, or Childish Gambino rather, releasing music on his dumbass website for me to go click on so I can listen to maybe a song I've heard, but I can't pick a song because I listen to it like a radio, is like, I'm sure there's people out there like, well, whatever, man. Like, it's cool. Like, you're being a bump on a log. Like, yeah, I know that I'm being a bump on a log.
It's like I'm
tired of it.
Been this inconvenienced since cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Like,
if I want to listen to the fucking radio, I'll put on the radio.
Yeah.
You know, I'll put on 92.1 The Jewel, listen to the lunchtime trivia.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is just like lots of people calling in now. Now that everyone is just in their homes.
It's the regular Frasier Crane show.
Yeah, really.
There we go. We brought it back around.
Back to Frasier, baby.
Everything comes back to Frasier.
Fucking Frasier.
Everything comes back to Frasier.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Have you listened to any albums lately? Any like new music?
Yes. I've been taking advantage of Spotify's like built for you stuff. I recently discovered, I scrolled past it a million times, but I never paid attention to it. It was like Release Radar, which is like a playlist of songs from artists who have dropped new music that you have listened to in the past.
Yeah.
And it's like, why haven't I been paying attention to this so much sooner?
Spotify is a great app when it works. To be perfectly honest with you.
Let me revisit my library and like see what I've been listening to lately. What's in my liked song? Oh, I've been getting into Her. Like I was already into Her.
But
like,
you're taking a big deep into Her though. Like you're really diving into Her.
I've been listening to Her like all the time.
Her is pretty good. I don't think Her is really for me entirely, but there's a lot of songs that she does that I really like.
Yeah.
Like, I don't love her. What I meant to say was I don't love her whole discography, but I do think that there are a bunch of songs that she did very well.
I love her self-titled album. She has a new song out called Comfortable, which is very good.
I like that one she did with Drum.
Oh, the Laydown.
The Laydown that's a great song.
Ooh, that's a banger. That's a straight up baby maker.
I love it's baby maker. Nice. It is what it is. I love the cover of Jungle she did. It's a great track.
I don't know if she covered it or if she just used the same sample that Drake did.
It's word for word a cover.
Is it?
Yeah. Have you not heard the Drake song Jungle?
I have, but I don't know it.
It's lyrical wise.
I did listen, Cam. I didn't pay attention to If You're Reading This, It's Too Late on purpose.
It's a good album.
Okay.
It's probably my favorite Drake project.
I just feel like the Mans came out strong with that album, and
it's every Drake album, right? People like to gas up Drake all the time.
Yeah.
Because for one thing or the other, I like If You're Reading This Too Late. My major criticism is that all the songs sound the same. Like production-wise, it's very similar.
Okay.
But I do like it.
Okay.
No, it was there's that point in the Jungle cover
Maybe
of Her.
I'll give it another shot. Maybe
Whatever. Like, don't stress yourself.
Yeah.
Drake is hit or miss in my opinion. Because I like.
He makes great bops, but then you listen to the lyrics.
Oh
and
yeah.
like, what is
we were talking about
this
this last night. Like the Hotline Bling. I implore everyone to Google Hotline Bling's lyrics and just read them.
Just like really think about what he's saying to that girl in that song.
And it's like, wow, Drake, you kind of seem like a psychopath, man.
Yeah.
Wow. So who else is gonna scorn us for this podcast? Drake is gonna hate us.
RZA is gonna despise us.
Oh, RZA's gonna kill me. I'm gonna die.
RZA is going to murder you.
I sealed my fate. You want to know what I'm talking about? Go watch our movie Pop Culture Trivia, which probably won't be out. The first part will be out.
Yeah.
But the second part won't be.
You know what I've been getting into a lot?
What's
First
that?
of all, Megan Thee Stallion's new EP dropped, Sugar,
Oh, yeah.
which is like actually pretty good.
That's good. It's
yeah.
good.
There's a song where she like
Megan Thee
tries to
Stallion.
sing on it, and I'm like, what are you
rough.
doing this for? But there's bops. Captain Hook and Savage are great songs, and BITCH is great. I got into King Princess recently.
Oh, she is great.
She's great.
I listened to her EP, the one with 1950 and Talia on it.
Yeah.
That's a great EP.
So good. So good.
But you know what's funny? Okay, I want to ask you.
She rides that wave of like bop, but it's emotional.
Well,
and,
that's what I
like,
was going to say.
Sad.
I was going to say, it's very somber. The
Yeah.
whole thing is very somber.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? I was listening to Talia the other day, which is like probably my favorite King Princess song.
Yeah.
And I was saying to myself, like, why do I love this and not like Billie Eilish or like Lana Del Rey? Because like I'm not saying they're the same, they're not, but like thematically they're very similar. They're both kind of airy. They sing about emotions, and there's like hip hop influences.
Billie Eilish's voice is a lot more like.
Well, she's changed quite a bit, I think, because Billie Eilish used to be like not like sweet or anything.
We have bananas.
I have no problem with Billie Eilish, but I'm not a fan of her music. I can be perfectly honest with you.
You know what? I am slowly I haven't listened to a lot of Billie Eilish, but like, like Bad Guy got played a lot, especially during awards season because she cleaned up at the Grammys and she like went to the Oscars and stuff like that. So like people were spinning her songs a lot more.
I think she's extremely talented, and I think that she's earned her fame and fortune.
I watched a video of her. It was for some magazine like Vogue or something like that. They played this game called like song association. So they would like give her a word, and she had to sing the first word or she had to sing the song that
Based on the word.
that popped into her head.
That's pretty cool.
So she was like singing a cappella, and I thought that she had a really beautiful voice.
Of course, yeah.
I thought she had a gorgeous voice.
She can't be as famous as she is and not be talented.
But like some of her style, it's very like, welcome to my kitchen. If you know that Vine that I'm like talking about.
Yeah.
We have bananas.
Yeah.
Avocados.
Especially early on. I think she's evolved quite a bit in her time on Earth. Yeah. And I'm excited to see where she goes, because I think
it's also one of those things where it's like she's not for me.
Well, yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying when I mean
idol,
like when I say shit like I'm not a fan of her music, but I have nothing but respect for her, because it's like, yeah, she fucking grinds. Her and her brother make dope music.
They grind it out like fucking like 3 albums.
And there's I like Death of a Friend.
Sure.
I don't know. That song is pretty good. Bad Guy's a good song.
I know nothing except Bad Guys and I Wish You Were Gay. And I haven't heard I Wish You Were Gay.
Neither have I.
I just know that that's the title of a song. And that it's not about wishing that someone was gay.
What?
Yeah.
I came around on Billie Eilish after I watched her Hot Ones. And I was like, oh, you're like, you're
cool.
not an idiot.
Yeah.
Like you know, it's like even people like Post Malone, right? Like, I'm not a fan of Post Malone's music, but that's someone who's I can respect.
See, Post Malone lost me when he did that whole like, if you want to cry to music, don't listen to rap.
Oh, okay. Well, that's irresponsible.
Go listen to some Bob Dylan. That lost me big points. That lost him big points with me.
Because rap can be emotional. There's no reason.
So you rap.
Yeah, really.
You're a rapper.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you? This is why I never trust white rappers, because you know what? The only white rapper I ever like fully trusted was Mac Miller. Straight up.
R.I.P.
He's the only one who like doesn't really have anything. Even Eminem has some things that make people go like, yeah, like he's the GOAT, but like he did this and it was kind of shitty.
Yeah, well, Eminem is a very checkered person.
Yeah.
like God bless the guy. Like I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, he's very open about how hostile he is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. But Mac Miller's the only white rapper that I trust.
I can recommend to you. I don't know if you
actually Beastie Boys. I trust the Beastie Boys.
Oh, of course. Yeah, well, they're legends.
Yeah. They're also instrumental in making rap popular.
Totally.
So you gotta
Two white rappers that I love that I don't think you'd be into, based on your opinion and what I understand you like when it comes to music. I'm a huge fan of two very small name rappers called Kill Bill and Rav. Love those guys.
You've played a couple songs in the car before, and I didn't hate it.
Well, they in my opinion, their production is really great. Their lyrics are good. Like, they're good rappers. It's not like Kendrick Lamar level of like, oh my god, this like onion to peel back.
Well, who else is on that level?
Well, exactly.
Who else is on that level right now? Nobody.
I would say J. Cole.
You think so?
J. Cole's really clever.
Okay.
Like, I gotta say, like, he's not talking about like anything as deep.
So many people think J. Cole is corny, which is kind of. I think they're being a little too hard on him.
He's so clever. Like, he makes all these dope ass rhymes.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm losing train of thought. Go listen to Kill Bill and Rav. Their projects are great. But the thing with J. Cole, so they dropped that Dreamville album months ago now.
Yeah.
And the Revenge of the Dreamers 3 is what it's called, which is a great album. Everyone should go listen to it. Not every song slaps, but most do. So, you know, good in my opinion.
Good enough.
All those rappers they have on there, you got like Boss and Jid and one more. I don't remember. But anyway, J. Cole is on a lot of those songs. Something that gets immediately noticeable when you listen to the album is like, yeah, these rappers are good, but like J. Cole is a lot better. like they're like making like fun little raps here and there, but then J. Cole comes in with some like real clever shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. Like it's to me, it's like when you compare. It's comparing apples to apples, but like one is a smaller apple and one is slightly bigger. Like, you know what I mean? Like the smaller apple, I'm sure is delicious.
You're the same species, but you don't taste the same.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure the smaller apple is delicious, but did you try the bigger one?
Yeah. There's more apple here. There's like 50% more apple here.
Totally.
I don't know if you want an apple.
But yeah,
here you go.
Lots of good music. Like, I need to be listening to more music. I wanted to listen to God damn it, the fuck is her name? Lead singer of Alabama Shakes.
Oh, Brittany Howard.
Brittany Howard. She did a solo album that I heard was really good.
Yeah.
Did you listen to it?
I only listened to Goathead because...
Is that the one that Brad sent you? She was like, you're mixed, you'd like this.
Yeah. Can I just say, like...
Yeah, go off, sis. Whatever.
No. I'm not gonna go off. I don't have a rant in me. This is so weird to me. So, you know, Buddy Brad sent me Goathead, and it's a good song, and I do enjoy it. And there are a lot of aspects of that song that I identify with a lot, and it was very, you know, I sat and I really like listened to the lyrics, and I appreciate it. There's just some about like being black and growing up around not a lot of black people, but like growing up around a lot of like well-meaning white people.
Right.
That is just so funny.
People who are trying to like connect with you.
It's like so funny to me.
Totally.
Because like you don't know. And like you clearly want me to like explain to you a concept. And I'm not talking about Brad showing me goat head. This is different.
Just a general experience.
I had a coworker the other day who like, and like this was like at the very beginning of COVID panic buying, right? So like I'm in a busy store and it's like somehow I got stuck training somebody. I got stuck training a new person, which is a bad time. That right now is a bad time to be learning.
Who the fuck is getting a job right now?
He already worked in the store, but he was picking up hours in different departments because the hours in his department got slashed.
Okay.
So he was trying to make more money. So he's going around like learning a bunch of different departments, and he was getting trained in mine at probably the worst time to be learning how to do online grocery shopping.
Right.
But I'm training and I'm in the middle of showing him something, and I walk past a self-scan where this like coworker of mine is standing. She's an older lady. She's about my mom's age.
Okay.
And she's like, Sam, I gotta ask you something.
Oh, great way to start a conversation.
Like, I get that you're busy right now, but like, just like, come find me later. And I was like,
okay,
all right. So I go upstairs for my break, and I go into the break room, and she's sitting there, and I'm like, oh, what did you have to ask me about? What do you want to talk to me about? And she's like, I was watching this Turner Classic thing about blackface. And I was like, here we...
Goodbye.
I was like, shit.
No one ever has a good question about blackface.
And she was asking me about like vaudeville performers and like...
How do you feel about it?
Kind of.
Oh my fucking God.
But what was it? She was saying something like... I guess it wasn't like she was asking me to like... take the time to explain blackface to her. She was more just like reiterating stuff that I already knew that she had learned in this like Turner Classic movie thing about like blackface. And she was like, I just don't understand why they were so against just hiring a black person to like play the character. And I was like,
racism.
Yeah, well, you know, like racism. She was like, I know it was racism, but it's just like, why couldn't you just... And they were talking about this guy and this one actor, and I can't remember his name, but he did the most blackface, and it's just ugly. It just looked so ugly.
Can you imagine being known as the actor who did the most blackface?
Yeah.
That's Charlie Braden. He's famous for doing the most blackface. And everyone's like, oh, okay.
He holds the world record for the most nobody's beaten his blackface record.
Turns out he's still alive. He gets honored at the Oscars for the most blackface performances. Here's an honorary Oscar, and it's a little Oscar in blackface. Like he's got like a little.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Like,
could you imagine Twitter after that?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Rock is like, I'm on Twitter right now. Everybody's so mad. Twitter.
Oh fuck.
But yeah,
then
no,
Moonlight
it was
loses.
Just, it was just funny because she wasn't. Listen.
Yeah, for somehow.
Shut up.
Go on.
It's like not even nominated that year, but they like put it in the category and like make it lose.
You know what? La La Land did get the Oscar. Retroactively, we're take it away.
Anyways, so it's fun. It's just funny because like it didn't take that much energy out of me because she wasn't really asking me to explain anything. She was more so reiterating that blackface was wrong to me, and she needed a black person to be like, blackface was so wrong, right? And I was like, yeah. You're totally right.
Well, you know what it is, Sam?
She also knows that I want to be an actor too. So like
she's
So like she's like,
probably thought
oh,
you'd
like
be
this is your industry and you're black and like all this and that. So you know, like no harm, no foul. Like it wasn't. She didn't even try and like defend it. You know, she even said that like she was like, and they had this historian on who was black and she was so gorgeous, and I just thought, I wish I could look like her. I wish not in like a gross get out kind of way, but she was just like, she was genuinely like, her features were so gorgeous. She didn't say that, but like,
it sounds like, I mean, to be honest with you, it sounds a little bit like how my mother watches TV, which is like, my mother, God bless her, is like turns into like a little superficial when it comes to television.
Well, our parents watch TV to see attractive people.
To get horny.
Yeah.
Fucking to watch Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
You know, and get horny. Yeah.
Listen, my mother's very first Facebook profile picture was George Clooney and Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11. That's her first Facebook profile picture.
Good looking boys.
So
yeah. Do you remember what your first Facebook profile picture was?
They watch it to be horny. Yeah, it's like a selfie of me in my bedroom that
Mine
I
is
took with my digital camera.
So nice. So it's like really cropped and tiny.
Yeah,
and
there's
like a watermark on it. Oh, nice.
In the picture.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mine was a picture of a guy falling off a motorcycle because I thought it was hilarious. I'm pretty sure it's still on there.
Peak baby Cameron. I think that was my first Facebook profile picture.
But yeah, man.
I think I did a little bit of editing.
On photo clip or whatever, the fucking website?
I did a little bit of like going through my profile pictures and like deleting some of the more incriminating ones.
I did the same.
Not too much, because to be honest, I don't like deleting stuff on social media. I like having a catalog of
me too
things that I was and like what I liked and how I acted back in the. Oh no, it's like a picture of me. This is my first Facebook profile picture.
Amazing! Look at you.
Yeah, it's got the MySpace angle.
What an angle!
Heavy MySpace.
Rocking the middle part too. Nice.
Yep, rocking the middle part. Yep.
It's a hard look.
Yep. Why did I put this blurry picture?
It looks like you're posing as you're falling over. Like,
yeah.
You took a picture real quick.
I fell over like right in that second. And then my emo phase. I just ran into my emo phase.
I always forget about that.
This is the picture that I show people whenever they're like, "Have you ever like straightened your hair?"
Well, yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, this is what it looked like." I put on heavy eyeliner and a Joker t-shirt.
I can't picture you with straight hair at all in today. Like,
I mean, like I can, but
it just sounds like that'd be a fucking process.
I don't like it as much. I like my curly hair.
Your curls are beautiful. You have tight curls.
It took a long time for me to get used to, and for me, going to straight hair is just sort of like disrespecting everything that I built to like about myself.
The black gods are gonna send lightning down upon you.
They're not because black women wear straight hair all the time, and it's like crazy and cool and like really interesting, and it's actually kind of fascinating how you can like change your hair from day to day with like wigs and weaves and stuff like that.
Totally.
So if you like wearing straight hair as a black woman, that's fine. Mm-hmm. It's just not for me because I tried to hide. I lusted after straight hair for so long, and I found that it was just like internalized racism. So
well, there you go.
I just like I like texture.
Lesson number 1 of today's podcast is to love you for who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You are beautiful. Like everybody's beautiful. You have to find a way to love your beauty. And I mean, like to say like work with what you got sounds like so ridiculous, but like, you know, don't get caught up in what makes other people beautiful, because that's why I lusted after straight hair for so long, because I just thought that was just beautiful hair. And if you were born with curly hair, then you just got the shit end of the stick. You know, not everybody can have beautiful straight hair, because then it wouldn't be considered beautiful. So some of us have to get knocked with the shitty hair, the bad hair,
which is
unquote,
bullshit.
Which I thought was like curly, coily hair back in the day. And I went on a really long journey to like love that and like undo that thinking in myself. So now whenever I have to like straighten my hair for anything, which is like never basically, but you know, if I ever had to for a role or something, I would do it, but I wouldn't be like, oh, this is a good look, I might want to keep this.
Yeah,
like, no, let me get back to my curly hair, please.
Right.
I like that very much.
Well, I agree with that, Sam. Like this, what I'm about to say, I don't think necessarily applies to women and femmes. It's just because I feel like in our patriarchy, not to get super political,
just round out that episode, babe.
Women have to try harder by default.
Yeah.
Non-men
have to try harder by default.
I don't feel like that's a radical thing to say.
Yeah.
So
non-men have to try
I'm
harder.
gonna speak to the dudes for a moment. The dudes and the male identifying folks. If you feel as though you're someone that doesn't have much of a fashion sense and you're worried about people being attracted to you, know that there is 8 billion people in the world. There's gonna be someone out there who is attracted to you, but you'll help your chances with a little bit of effort. And I don't mean like copying someone's style. I mean like literally go to the store and talk to the clerk there. Yeah. Or find a shirt you really like.
Like gain a sense of style. Like get a couple of like magazines.
Yeah.
And this is for anybody. Like pick up. This is the one time where I would encourage you to buy tabloids,
totally.
Right? Because you look at the best dressed or worst dressed and the who wore it best lists, and you make your own decisions, right? Like don't let what they say like control you. If you see something on like a worst dress list and you like it,
Yeah.
then, like identify what you like about it. Do you like the color? Do you like the silhouette? Do you like the fabric?
Totally.
Like, what is it about it that you like? And then like build from there.
Absolutely. A little bit of effort.
And then you'll build your own style, and then you will meet somebody who appreciates that style.
Yeah, a little bit of effort goes a long way. Like, I would never be caught dead in a trench coat and a fedora, but you know what? I bet there's lots of women out there, some women out there who like really
if you put Tom
are into
Hiddleston
that.
in a trench coat and a fedora, I would kiss him.
Well, because that's just Tom Hiddleston. That's not fair.
That's a style that he can like work with, right? Like he can work that, you know?
Yeah.
Like everybody has their thing.
Lesson number 2 is a little effort goes a long
and
way.
fedora is not your thing, but I love you for what you look like, and I love Tom Hiddleston for what he looks like.
Yeah, and right
they're
now,
very different.
I'm wearing a 5XL Death Stranding shirt. This is far too big on me because I didn't feel like being.
You know what? You're still the one for me more than Tom Hiddleston in a trench coat and a fedora.
You hear
Even
that,
though he
Tom?
would pull that look off, and I would kiss him.
Stop talking to my girlfriend. Lesson number 3 is Tom Hiddleston to get away from my girlfriend. You have far too many celebrity crushes. You can't be famous now because you're gonna leave me the second you get to Hollywood.
No, I won't.
You have one conversation with Nick Kroll and you'd be like, I want to sit on this alligator face.
No.
I'm gonna leave my
On this-
boyfriend.
Excuse me. What? Oh man, alligator's not the animal I would pick.
He looks a
but
little bit like an alligator.
You're a little bit pissed off, so I'm just gonna let you feel that feeling.
Whatever, Nick. Your show is funny, and you're far more successful than I'll ever be. So, go ahead, fuck my girlfriend. See if I care.
Okay, we gotta wrap this up.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Toast Spot
I can hear
podcast.
the outro music in my head. Like,
Yeah.
please end now. Bye. Thank you.
You can find us on all streaming services as well as YouTube. Go subscribe and like us. We do lots of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Talk to you guys later.
YouTube, Google Play, Spotify. Check it out. Bye.
What?